Hey everyone, this is Shadow Libra, and welcome to part 2 of a closer look at the missing children in Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, if you want to watch part 1, there will be a link in the description, but now let's jump right into this. So what if I told you that the entire FNAF series, literally everything we've gotten from Five Nights at Freddy's all the way to Help Wanted 2, revolves around the missing children, that the kids and William Afton are the center of the story? Well, let's look into everything we got after FNAF 1. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 has the missing children return along with a new set of victims FNAF fans like to call the Save Them Kids, which might as well be the MCI 2. When the FNAF 2 restaurant opens, William Afton wants to recreate what he did with the missing children, so he applies and becomes the night guard under a fake name, probably Dave Miller or Steve Raglan, or it doesn't really matter, but he has some sort of fake name. And one night when William is on his shift, the Save Them Kids break into the pizzeria. William uses the Spring Bonnie suit to kill each of them. The kids then possess the toy animatronics. William recreates what he did, making the toys behave exactly like the old animatronics. There's probably even a drawing of each of the Save Them Kids with the yellow rabbit again. In FNAF 2, we also meet the puppet, possessed by Henry's daughter Charlie. In the novels, Charlie was William Afton's first ever victim, and this does seem to be the case in the games as well, since Henry said the wound caused by William was first inflicted on him.
A wound first inflicted on me, but then one that I let bleed out to cause all of this.
In the novels, we learn that the reason William killed Charlie was jealousy. He hated Henry and was jealous of him, so he decided to rip away someone Henry loved to hurt him. The aftermath was a bit different in the games and novels, but it led to the same events. In the novels, Henry had a really hard time dealing with Charlie's death. He took it far enough where he literally rebuilt his daughter, but as a robot. 4 stages of robots to be exact. Here's some quotes from the fourth closet.
Charlotte would be a baby, then a little girl, and then a sulky teenager. Then at last, she would be a woman. The littlest Charlotte was made with a broken heart. She cried all the time, day and night. The second Charlotte he made when he was at the depth of madness, almost believing the lies he told himself. She was as hopelessly desperate for her father's love as he was for hers. The third Charlotte he made when he began to realize he'd gone mad, when he questioned every thought he had and begged his sister Jen to remind him what was real. The third Charlotte was strange.
Henry made it so Charlie could grow up just like a real girl. He used a tripod to recreate all of Charlie's memories from before she died. When he was making her, he poured all his agony and his grief of losing his daughter into the Charlie bot, that when making her, he managed to make a robot that actually came to life, and it was so convincing not only to him, but to the rest of the world. When other people met Charlie, they had no idea what she actually was. Even Charlie herself was unaware of the fact that she was a robot. She even thought she was a normal human being. Charlie didn't just act human, she was capable of feeling, having human emotions, thoughts. She could eat, drink, cry, sleep, bleed. She could feel hot and cold. Anything a human could do, Charlie could do. The memories Charlie made living this life made her more than just a robot. Even though she didn't have the soul of anyone inside her, the memories she made growing up thinking she was a human allowed Charlie to develop her own soul. Even though she was just a robot, she was at the same time just as alive as anyone else. William was interested in how Henry was able to do this. Charlie being rebuilt into a robot is what started William's entire journey with the supernatural. Here's some quotes from William in the fourth closet.
Anyone can discover a fire already burning, but Henry found a unique spark, created something truly different. Something he didn't deserve or intend to stumble upon.
William then demands his daughter Elizabeth to bring it to him. Bring Charlie to him. Throughout the entire novel trilogy, William is absolutely obsessed with Charlie. Henry making her into a living robot was what William saw as the spark of life, and he was obsessed with trying to recreate it. Here's one of the first things William says to Charlie in the Silver Eyes, when he doesn't have a security guard act and is just being his true self. His round eye reappeared through one of the sockets, glimmering in the light. He locked eyes with Charlie for a moment, struggling to lean in closer.
"Oh,"
he gasped.
"You're something beautiful, aren't you?"
William attempts to kidnap Charlie again and again, so if Charlie is what made William start his journey looking into the supernatural in the novels, can we apply that to the games? I think we can. In Pizzeria Simulator, we see the night of Charlie's death. The background music in the minigame is called Alchemist Fantasy. An alchemist is someone who transforms or creates things using magic. William Afton throughout the series creates killer animatronic families using supernatural properties. He is the alchemist. It's interesting that he's referenced in the soundtrack showing us Charlie's death. Charlie's soul is shown to pass on into the puppet at the end of this minigame, which would make this William's first experience with the paranormal. He sees that Charlie has possessed the puppet. This starts his whole journey with the supernatural. After he kills the other kids, we see an event known as Give Gifts, Give Life. But what exactly does that mean? Well, the kids believe in the idea that they have a happiest day to protect, their gift being that happiest day that they believe they are in. They don't know the horrifying truth of their situation because the puppet isn't letting them know the truth. She is what causes the kids to think they are still alive and just trapped in the pizzeria and able to control the animatronics. Give Life refers to the other kid's life in the animatronics. Something I've noticed with possession is when someone has possessed an animatronic or something that has personality to it, their memories are even more fuzzy than they normally be. You see, with characters like Jake, whose soul is in the Stitchwraith, his memory is very fuzzy, because he is dead and has amnesia, but at least Jake still remembers his name, because he's possessing an endo that never had any programmed personality into it. Jake still has very fuzzy memories. He does not remember how he died or anything like that, but at the very least, he knows he is Jake. However, let's look at spirits who became animatronics with a programmed personality in them. For example, Baby. Baby is possessed by William Afton's daughter Elizabeth, yet throughout all of Sister Location, she doesn't really act like it. The way she speaks to us and the way she speaks about herself, it's almost like Elizabeth thinks she is Baby. Even when she talks about Elizabeth's death, she tells the entire story through Baby's perspective, not Elizabeth's.
There were 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. A little girl, standing by herself. My stomach opened, and there was ice cream. There was screaming for a moment, but only for a moment.
It seems like the personality of Baby has taken over and Elizabeth thinks she is Baby. Although it is shown in Pizzeria Simulator, Elizabeth is more aware of her true self and what she really is. Pizzeria Simulator takes place many years after Sister Location, so it seems that something did happen to make Elizabeth remember her past from before she died. If I'm to take any crack at what happened at all, it was probably due to the amount of time Elizabeth got to spend with her brother Michael after she scooped him. And Michael helped her spirit realize who she really is. But not only do we see this with Elizabeth, but also Glamrock Freddy, who throughout the entirety of Security Breach, he just acts like a normal animatronic. He has the personality programmed into him, but if you go under Roxy Raceway, you will find the burned down remains of Pizzeria Simulator. Glamrock Freddy then has some interesting lines to say about it.
I know what this is. I have been here before. She brought me here. I found myself for the first time when I cleared the path. I did not want to, but I had no choice. Now I have a choice. I have changed. My friends are here. They are so angry, confused. But I can protect you. I am not me.
Glamrock Freddy is admitting that he isn't himself, and something has made him change. which itself is weird, but he also says he found himself when he was originally taken down there by Vanessa. How does an animatronic find himself, unless he's saying he found the body of the person whose soul is inside him? When Burntrap shows up, Glamrock Freddy immediately shows aggression towards him and demands Gregory stops him.
What was that? Are you okay?
He is trying to take control of me.
It seems highly likely Glamrock Freddy is possessed, and if I were to guess who it would be, probably Edwin Murray, since Edwin is the one who built the Mimic and is the one who wants to stop it in the Tales from the Pizzaplex stories. So seeing Burntrap, who has the Mimic's endoskeleton, would explain Glamrock Freddy's immediate aggression. Anyway, the thing to take away from all this is when a soul possesses something with a programmed personality in it, that soul can lose so much memory that they think they are the thing they are possessing. When it comes to the main animatronics and the toys, this does not appear to be the case at all. This is also very much not the case with the puppet. Charlie seems to not even have any fuzzy memories in the puppet, so what's up with that? Well, the same can be said for Elizabeth by the time of Pizzeria Simulator and also the Fourth Closet. Elizabeth has an actual connection with the animatronic she is possessing, and her soul was able to interact with her brother Michael after she killed him at the end of Sister Location, which could have been what led to Elizabeth remembering who she is. It seems that if the spirits are able to get some sort of massive epiphany, then they can remember their past. So what was Charlie's epiphany? Her soul is the puppet. The puppet is an animatronic Charlie's father Henry made for her. Henry designed the puppet to protect Charlie. That's why Charlie's soul would connect with the puppet, and it would explain why, unlike the others, Charlie remembers her life before she was murdered. Charlie's awareness is also the reason she isn't fooled by the Freddy mask. Like when William wears the Spring Bonnie suit, the Freddy mask makes the spirits think you are one of them. But Charlie is more aware than they are, so she doesn't fall for it. Foxy also doesn't seem to fall for it either, which shows the kid inside him is slightly smarter. However, we see when William wears the entire costume and not just a head, Foxy is fooled. This also brings us to Give Gifts, Give Life. I believe when she gives life, she is allowing the spirits of the kids to stay inside the animatronics without completely forgetting everything, without thinking that they are the animatronic their soul now inhabits. Although I will point out, even though the kids definitely don't think they are literally the animatronics, it does seem like they are forgetting a lot of important things. In the movie, we aren't even told the kids' names. Abby just refers to them as Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, because that's how the kids introduce themselves to Abby. They can't even remember their own names. The next thing I want to point out is the puppet only performs Give Gifts, Give Life on Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. Golden Freddy does not get a gift or life, which is why, unlike the others, he is the most aware. Since Golden Freddy is way more aware than the other four are, we see him take advantage of his now supernatural powers like teleporting, fading in and out of existence, and even shapeshifting. I believe if any of the other original or toy animatronics had the privilege of being as aware as Golden Freddy is, then they would be able to have powers like his. Anyway, now let's go to Five Nights at Freddy's 3. This game is all about the missing children. The main antagonist is Springtrap, who is the costume that William Afton used to lure and kill each of the kids. But Springtrap also has the body of William stuck inside. During the game, however, there are secret minigames that are bad memories each of the kids are trapped inside him. And to free them, you have to turn the bad memories into good ones. This allows the kids into the Happiest Day, which is a mirror of Fredbear's family diner during the FNAF 4 bite. Another bad memory turned good. We are even able to tell which kid is trapped in which memory because of the kid that appears in Happiest Day after you give them cake. Freddy is trapped inside BB's Air Adventure, Chica is trapped inside Chica's Party, Foxy is trapped inside Stage 01, Bonnie is trapped inside the Shadow Bonnie minigame. We also know Mangle's Quest is for the puppet because Mangle's Quest is the minigame where we get the cake, and in Happiest Day, Charlie delivers the kids their cake. FNAF 3 is not only a 1v1 with the killer, but also a quest to free the spirits from their bad memories. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 introduces us to a character called Nightmare, who according to the game files is actually Shadow Freddy. In Ultimate Custom Night, Shadow Freddy says he is William's wickedness.
I am your wickedness, made of flesh.
Shadow Freddy is an entity completely made out of William's evil actions. But what actions are those? Well, in the FNAF 3 Follow Me minigames, we see Shadow Freddy replicate one of William's evil actions, the missing children's incident. Just like how William dressed up as Spring Bonnie and lured each of the kids into the safe room one at a time, we see Shadow Freddy lure each animatronic to the safe room one at a time, just for each animatronics to meet face to face with their killer, just like they did last time. In Pizzeria Simulator, Henry described Shadow Freddy as a trap to rob the kids of everything they had again.
He set some kind of trap. I don't know what it was, but he led them there again. He overpowered them again, and he robbed them of the only thing that they had again.
So, Shadow Freddy is the evil William put onto the world and turned into its own entity. It really goes to show how big the missing children's incident actually was, and how much of an effect it had in Hurricane, Utah. Another part of FNAF 4 is Garrett, William Afton's youngest son. We are now back to William's journey with the supernatural. He killed Charlie first, and we know Charlie was killed first because she was killed in 1983, while the missing children were killed in 1985. We know Charlie was killed in 1983 for two reasons. The first being that in the fourth closet, Charlie's grave says she was killed in 1983, but also Help Wanted 2 further confirms this. In Help Wanted 2, there are 6 memory plushies we can get, each of them being one of the missing children wearing the mask of the character they become. To get the Charlie memory plushie, you have to go into the level called Puppet Master. Here, you will find yourself in the sister location private room, and below your desk is a drawer with a keypad. If you type in the code 1983, you get the Charlie memory plush, pretty much confirming 1983 is the year Charlie was murdered. However, even though William sees that Charlie's soul went into the puppet, he doesn't know how this is possible, so he starts experimenting. And that's where I'm going to leave off this video. So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Also, thank you to Arcade Endo and Adrian for doing some voices in this video. Now, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in part 3. Bye everyone!